just want to go back to the multiplier effect. The every dollar of food stamps is 170 of economic activity. Like I don't buy that. There's no real way to prove the multiplier effect, and I just like to me that's just nonsense. The problem with the cuts as they're laid out is there's not any actual cuts in like anything else. It seems like targeted and it seems cruel in that way. But like and the idea that they're gonna eliminate fraud by cutting it by 5% or 10% or you guys lost me in like 18 numbers ago. But the idea that they're gonna reduce the fraud like that is just not true. The truth is the people who are actually committing fraud are the people who know the system like their back of their hand. Like the people who aren't committing fraud are the people who won't be able to get around a lot of these new restrictions. And like the fraud problem is it's inherent in any time the government hands out any form of money. Like there's going to be some people trying to game the system to get it. So like I understand the logic of reducing the program to reduce fraud, but you're going to hit a lot more people who aren't doing any fraud than you would, actual fraudsters.
Yeah, yeah. I would concede that Sean, I couldn't explain to you specifically, how they came to that number. But I think, on a very basic level, people who have very little means or no means are going to spend that money into the economy immediately upon receiving it. And basically, when we're having a downturn like this or slow economic growth, basically there's a lack of private sector spending that basically, unless the government's going to step in and make up for that in some way or another, and this is obviously a similar argument for stimulus, that basically that dearth of spending is going to continue to be there, and it has actually a negative kind of downward spiral, because as people pull back from investment, they lay off more people. Those people don't have any money to spend. I'm sure we all have heard this before.
It's a bit of a snowball.
Yes.
Right.
To go back to the point that Lucas was making, 90% of SNAP benefits are redeemed by the third week of the month. So, that money immediately, by the third week of the month, all that money's spent. Or almost all of it is all spent.
I understand that, but I don't
goes
believe
right back into the economy, and
but I don't believe
so,
that
it's not enough.
I don't believe that Keynesian economics is right. Like I believe in the Austrian school of economics. So like I understand that. I just don't believe that spending is the driver of the economy.
Spending is the driver of the economy. What else could be the driver of the economy? If you're spending money at a business, that business is making money. Those people now have money in the business to spend more money in other businesses, and those businesses have money to spend on other businesses, and the people who run those businesses, that is a snowball effect. The snowball goes either way. You cut from the economy, and it cuts multiple times. You add to the economy, you give to the economy, you give people more money, more funds to spend, they spend it on businesses. That has a multiplier effect and a snowball effect. So it can go either way, but that is how the economy is driven. This is a consumer-driven economy that we live in.
Which is the problem. We need to produce more things than we're consuming. Like this is a longer conversation, but I don't think Keynesian economics is right, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But back to the food stamp thing. I actually read an article in the Washington Post, or not the Washington Post, the Daily Post, which is over here, about how and they blew it way out of proportion because this is a small percentage of people, but how some people sell their food overseas in the Dominican Republic and make money like that off the food stamp program. And this is it's a small example, but I just want to put that out there. That's the kind of thing that is appearing in the papers, that appeared in the papers ahead of these cuts. So it was planned for a while that they were going to go after the program, and they're just digging up as many cases of fraud as possible.
Yeah, it's called SNAP trafficking, and actually it had risen from 1% of total benefits to 1.3% of total benefits. So it was 1% of total benefits from 2006 to 2008, and 1.3 from 2009 to 2011. And once again, that's attributed to the growth of the food stamp program.
Exactly, but I'm just saying, like, don't think that they just came to this randomly. Like, this has been planned over a longer period of time that they're going to go after this program.
Of
Because
course.
that was
Well,
in the
they've been trying to defund this program at various times during the past. This wasn't like a surprise thing that this was a priority for them, or not even a priority, but something that they were interested in doing if they could. But I don't think this was like a coordinated sort of attack or something. This is just a kind of continuing issue that they'd love to kind of push.